What's up, everybody? It's Clark here for the BOS Sports blogcast. Absolutely brutal night for the Atlanta Hawks tonight as they fall 3-2 in the first round of the playoff series versus the Knicks, losing tonight in nearly a 30-point blowout, 126-97. Atlanta Hawks, they absolutely got smoked on the rebounding glass, losing that battle 48-27, while the shooting selection did not fare much better to any at all, 45-31, 59. Compared to New York Knicks, 57, 42, and 74. That is field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. The Hawks, again, struggle from the free throw line tonight. A key factor to winning games in the playoffs, as well as many other facets. And that's much of the story tonight. Jalen Johnson, he did have another double-double tonight. 18, 10, and 6 with 2 steals, but a bit underwhelming for what we hope for him to do. Dyson Daniels, 17 points, efficient day, 7 for 11 from the field. Nikhil Alexander, 16 points with 4-3. Onyeka Nkagu, 16 points, 5 and 4 tonight. We hope for him to contribute more on that rebounding glass, which the Atlanta Hawks struggle so much at. CJ McCollum had a brutal night, 6 points, on 3 for 10 shooting from field with 4 turnovers. Jalen Brunson, the Atlanta Hawks, absolutely could not slow him down, stop him. Dyson Daniels, our main primary on-ball defender, could not slow down Jalen Brunson enough as he had a 39-point game. Karl-Anthony Towns, monstrous double-double, 16, 14, and 6 tonight. OG Anunoby, he continues to torment the Hawks tonight's game. While the Hawks, you really have to question what direction they're trying to go for with these rotations. Playing Tony Bradley so heavily in a game like this, are they trying to win? Are they trying to develop? What are they trying to do? Asa Newell and Zachary Iche, both DNPs tonight. Both players who could significantly help the Atlanta Hawks on that rebounding glass. Not sure what their plan is to play Tony Bradley in a game like this if they're not sure they're going to win. Such as appeared apparent potentially in the second quarter. The Hawks absolutely got hosed in that first half with calls by the NBA. Second half, it leveled out quite a bit, but the game was quite a bit lost by then. So, we'll recap that game and more here on the BOS Sports blogcast. Get a transition here to Braves in just a minute. Stay tuned for some station identification. So, for the Atlanta Braves, they were the first 20-win team in baseball here in 2026. Dodgers, they followed that up shortly with a win over the Marlins. But coming in today, both tied at 20-9. The Dodgers, they did have a slightly better run differential at plus 68 compared to Atlanta Braves 65. Many people, they had the Dodgers already behind the Braves in the power rankings. And as a Braves fan, I'm not quite there yet. Would like to see Ronald Acuna Jr. regain his MVP caliber form for me to get there. Braves are nearly there. They have a really good thing going here early on Major League Baseball season. Deadline. Looking forward to what the Braves could potentially add to get on the Dodgers level. They definitely need another number one quality starting pitcher to pair with Chris Sale, of course, a number one quality starting pitcher himself. But that's what the Dodgers have. They have at least 2 to not 3 to 4 number one quality starting pitchers. Braves need to match that themselves. So there's multiple options for them to do that. Of course, an organization. Hurston Waldrop, a little bit of a long shot to do that himself. He's reported to be throwing off a mound again. He's going to be coming back soon. Spencer Schwellenbach, a more hopeful candidate for that. But I think ideally, you'd really hope for one of them to fill that third role. As Dodgers, they really have a 1-2-3, 1-2-4, 1-2-5, 6 punch, depending on who's healthy. So for the Braves to match that, you really want to count on a Hurston Waldrop or Spencer Schwellenbach really being that third punch. So really, Braves at deadline, they're looking to go for a big swing and add another ace quality starting pitcher. That seems to be the biggest need. Of course, Mike Yastrzemski as well. Thrilled himself. Jurickson Profar, he is supposed to be there. Of course, he's been in with this steroid suspension. Braves really should have cut him, but they're cheap. Trying to save every dollar they can, hoping that lockout will potentially save them some dollars from that. So, anyways, moving forward here, Dodgers coming in today. We're 5-5. Braves 8-2. Have to check the ticker in a little bit here, see how Dodgers fare tonight. But the Braves won tonight 5-2 over Detroit Tigers. Of course, the Tigers, they had 2 injury scares. Javier Baez, that looked very concerning for them, sliding into the base there and injuring. Casey Mize as well, he's taken out after 34 pitches. Concerns for Detroit Tigers, who had a very slow start to start the year, but turned it around. They're 15-14 before day, 15-15 now. In the mix for top AF Central, which is very underwhelming so far. I really had some high hopes here for both the Tigers and the Guardians. And while they're still at the top of the division right now, they're still pretty underwhelming. Royals about where I saw them at. Twins, a little bit surprising, but they're starting to fall to grace. See how all that shakes up here in a few weeks. But back to today's game. Martin Perez, he started the game for the Braves. Again, having another solid start. 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 4 walk batters, 5 Ks. Control wobbly. He had quite a few jams there. But Martin Perez has proven to be a very valuable piece. Great signing by Alex Anthopoulos. We joke about bargain bin, Dollar Tree, Alex Anthopoulos. And today with Martin Perez, and so far in the season, it's absolutely worked out. Dodgers, they'd be paying a player like that $100 million. And the Braves, they have him on a minimum contract. So, trade-offs there. The Braves, as aforementioned, going forward, looking for a huge swing at the deadline. Pick up Nace. Might need another bat as well, but I think starting pitchers, the huge focus with so many position players logjam here for the Braves. We'll get to that in a minute as we review the Braves transaction logjam situation. So, back to this game, Raul Acuna Jr., two nice doubles today. Like to see him getting back on track. Mike Yastrzemski, who's struggled so far this season, 2 for 3 day with a double and RBI. Ozzy Albies 1 for a day. He continues his solid season so far. Matt Olson, Detroit Tigers absolutely scared of him. Matt Olson building up a reputation here in 2026 as a premier hitter. I have to say right now, he's absolutely overtaken Freddie Freeman for best first baseman in the league. His offensive stats wild this season and carrying this team to glory so far. 1 for 2 for a double today with an RBI. Adding to that, should be starter, first baseman in the All-Star game. Mauricio Dubon, another nice day. He had a double as well. Austin Riley, another tough night, 0 for 4, 3 Ks. So, going to continue with more recap and more. This is the BOS Sports Blogcast. Going to pause here for station identification. So, to give a quick rundown here on the state of Major League Baseball so far this season. The East is absolutely horrible. The Braves are the only team over 500 so far. Last two seasons, prior to the season, I predicted a huge, epic Phillies collapse. And I gave up on that notion prior to the season. And gave up on that in the wrong timing, as the Phillies 9-19 coming in today. They fired Rob Thompson. Absolutely appear to be in a downward spiral. They don't have young talent coming up as far as prospects. They appear absolutely cooked due to the Phillies. Tigers, who the Braves facing this week, have turned around after a rough start. See how that tracks. This series, Braves still have not lost a series so far. I don't expect them to lose this series as well, even with Tarek Skubal going in the series. So we'll see how that goes as well. Framber Valdez, familiar foe for the Braves. We'll see how it works out for Braves for the rest of the season. Series, that is. So Blue Jays and Red Sox, well, in the AL Central, they absolutely stink. I'm shocked by the Red Sox, how bad they are. Tampa Bay Rays, a little bit upshot, 17-11. One of the only four teams in the AL over 500 coming in today, with Yankees, Rays, Athletics, and Tigers. What a mess is the American League right now. Reds, they led the NL Central coming in today. Cubs, who had the slow start, they had some bad news today with Justin Steele having, I believe, a flexor injury. Concerning for him coming back from elbow surgery from last year. So they have, I believe, both Cade Horton, their top line starter, and Justin Steele, both with injury concerns. They're a solidly built team, but whether or not they can withstand that, I think they can still do well over the season, but whether or not they're a contender at the deadline, that's a very highly questionable thing right now, state of the Cubs. So Padres 19-9, despite terrible pitching. One of my best preseason predictions has come true so far in the early standings, is that they would slug their way out of a decent record. And, of course, overcoming pitching troubles as well. They signed Lucas Giolito just the other day. We'll see how that works out for them. But so far, the Padres have overcome their starting pitching woes and slugged their way to a nice 19-9 record so far. The rest of the NL West is about as expected. Giants, a little bit underwhelming. Diamondbacks, you knew that they'd be pretty decent this so far this season. Rockies, a little bit surprising. They've been winning some games, and of course, they won a series versus the Dodgers. They might be a mid-60 win team this year. So, going back to the Braves transaction, Ha-Seong Kim, he has begun a rehab assignment with AA Columbus. He was scheduled to play with Garrett Bauman, one of the Braves' top prospects, today, but that game has been postponed to Wednesday, the 29th. So Dylan Lee, he is placed on paternity list. He's having a child. And Didier Fuentes, he was recalled back up with the team. It's interesting. We'll see how that plays out. Of course, Braves, they have both Carlos Carrasco and Jose Suarez, two top names, potentially be DFA'd when Spencer Strider comes back here soon, as reported by Mark Bowman. He will not have another rehab start. He's coming back. So hopefully they keep Didier Fuentes, and those are two nice corresponding removes. Get rid of Jose Suarez and Carlos Carrasco, and you get Didier Fuentes and Dylan Lee back. So that's a decent little. Pitching is not so hard to come up with. It's more when the position players come back. You have Ha-Seong Kim coming back. Sean Murphy, he was retrograde to single A ball. He had his first hits on 26 with a multi-hit game, catching Spencer Strider with a 3-for-4 day with 2 RBIs and a double. It'll be interesting to see, but it's quite a hard chopping block to come down with Sean Murphy and Ha-Seong Kim coming back. Really, Mike Yastrzemski, looking at stats, he's been struggling the most. But the Braves, they owe him $23 million over 2 seasons. Kyle Farmer, he has decent stats, but very limited playing time, sample size. You can live with him getting cut and ending up elsewhere, which is probably what will be the case. But you really still need Eli White, who's been struggling so far, and you really still need Jorge Mateo, who's had decent numbers, still for outfield depth. You really can't consider cutting them. But fitting Kim and Murphy on this roster is not a fun task. Jonah Heim, losing him would hurt going to another team. And with as bad as the Mets and Phillies are so far this season, you'll likely see one of them, Farmer or Heim, back in the division. It's a good problem to have, but also, of course, it has a downside. So, going back, Hawks Knicks here in 126-97. Of course, those blogcasts. We have 3 key stats. Whether or not the team loses a game. Hawks, they lost all of them. 44.6% to Knicks, 57% from field, 27-48. Huge rebounding discrepancy. Terrible by the Hawks. 10 turnovers. New York Knicks, 11. Austin Newell, Zachary Shea did not play. I really do not see the reasoning playing Tony Bradley over them unless you're really just playing to lose the series and hoping that they'll continue to develop and you'll get another guy in the draft and the Hawks will be better next year. Seems like a punt move to me. I don't like it. Jalen Johnson, double-double, aforementioned. Gabe Vincent, Buddy Hieldmintz, Corey Kispert, 0 for 3, 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. Keaton Walls, he got some minutes. Knicks are certainly a deeper team. Just hoping that the Hawks peak and the Hawks core could outperform them. So far, it's only happened 2 games. So, Hawks, of course, they have to win twice in a row. High turnover games tonight. You have Jason Tatum. Of course, the Celtics lost to the Sixers. I believe they lead 3-2. CJ McCollum, 4 turnovers. So, back to this Braves game. Looking over the stat line. Dom Smith in his game back, 0 for 1. Austin Riley, 0 for 4. Around the league, Ellie De La Cruz, 1 night tonight. 3 hits, 4 RBIs versus Colorado Rockies. Aaron Bummer, he continues to struggle tonight with a 1 inning, 2 earned run performance. Struggles again for Aaron Bummer. Be right back after this station identification. This is a BOS Sports Blogcast. Thanks for listening to this episode of the BOS Sports Blogcast. BOS Sports Blogcast will remain intermittent to about the June time period when my schedule frees up a little bit more. So be sure to listen to previous episodes of BOS Sports Blogcast. Stream BOS Bar Soap Music, Tainted Wool Jazz Dreams Music. Be sure to visit the BOS Sports blog website, which just updated today. The MLB Trade Simulator now has all 50 prospects, top 50 prospects for all 30 teams. Huge update today. Can't let that mention go by. Have more updates and more about that website. Be sure to follow on X, BOS Bar Soap GDP on X. before we go, need to do a quick analysis there. The Atlanta Hawks is hoping for them to get more ball movement there, as well as involve more people and screens on the offense. The Hawks, they ran a brilliant play there in the end of the first quarter with a pick and roll, and saw that the Knicks would not defend and stick as well with the pick player there at right around below the logo. The Hawks have several angles on offense where they can potentially be doing better, from ball movement to player movement on offense and to just using their 5-out motion offense better. If you have Onyeka and Kagwu there at the top of the key, or to the top of the 3-point line. Above the top of the key, have Jonathan Kuminga, Jalen Johnson both diving in at the wings, and having your 2 3-point shooting guards, CJ McCollum, Nickeil Alexander-Walker at the wing. Well, with CJ rotating with Jonathan Kuminga, it feels like the Hawks have quite a few avenues on offense to explore going into Game 6 that have been not yet desired. Game 3, they seem to do quite a bit of that. The Hawks, they just seem quite a bit disorganized getting that together on offense. So that's what I'd like for see for them getting together next game. Be sure to stream next episode of BOS Sports Blogcast.